Southampton Under 18s began 2015 with a defeat at the hands of Brighton and Hove Albion at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre. Anthony Limbrick's starting 11 included Niall Mason, who's been a regular for the Under-21s this season at right back, and two Under-16s in the form of Ben Cull and Callum Slattery. The windy conditions didn't make for pretty football and both sides failed to create many first-half chances. Brighton had the first of the game as a cross looped over Harry Isted, but luckily for the goalkeeper went just wide of his far post. Isted was called into action again when he stopped this effort creeping in from a Brighton corner. This shot was carried by the wind but flew just over the crossbar. Saints' only real opportunity came from Joe Lee. He picked up the ball on the edge of the area but fired a first-time shot just over the crossbar. Isted produced heroics once again as he got a palm to this effort to tip it wide of the post. This next shot was more comfortable as it flew straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Ollie Cook managed to get his head on this ball in from Armani Little. Unfortunately for him though, it looped over both the goalkeeper and the crossbar and landed on top of the net. Carl Clinton got in a bit of trouble with this ball through, but as the striker turned inside, Isted made himself big and got his body in the way of the shot to keep the scores goalless at half-time. Brighton took the lead in the second half. This corner was looped to the back post where it was headed home by defender Ben Barkley. The goal would prove to tilt the game in Brighton's direction as Saints never recovered. Isted suffered an ankle injury in the build-up to the first goal and was replaced by Jake Hallett, whose first task was to pick up the ball out of his own net. Jordan Maguire drew cut in from the right-hand side and put a powerful effort past the first-year scholar. Marcus Barnes had the chance to give Saints a lifeline, but he hit wide from Dan Debkin's left-sided cross. Brighton's third came from Maguire drew again. In similar circumstances to his first, he cut inside from the right and shot in the same corner to effectively hand Brighton all 3 points. Olafella Rolamola came close with this effort after he was threaded through by Marcus Barnes. The goalkeeper stood tall to deny Saints number 7. The fourth and final goal came from James Tilley. Again, he came back on his left foot and let fly into Hallett's bottom left corner to secure the win. Next up for Saints is West Ham United in the league next Saturday, before they face Everton in the FA Youth Cup that coming Wednesday. Anthony, not a great start to 2015. What are your thoughts on that defeat?
Well, I thought it was a very tight game early on in the first half. Conditions were difficult. There was a really big wind blowing across the pitch. But for both sides, and I thought that it was quite even coming in at half-time 0-0. We spoke about a few things and said that we needed to stay tight defensively in the second half, and unfortunately we didn't do that. We conceded. I think we were on top probably for the first 10 or 15 minutes, pinned them in their half, and then conceded from a set play, which we're always disappointed with. And then the second goal was a little bit sloppy from us, and sort of the third and fourth were similar to the second goal in terms of a left footer coming inside and getting his shot away far too easily. I think we're a little bit deep defending that way. So yeah, it was really disappointing. I think we had a few half chances. The keeper made a couple of good saves and we could have scored ourselves, but all in all I think it wasn't a 4-0 game, but we probably didn't deserve to get anything from it with the second half performance.
How crucial was the first goal? Because I mean, after sort of quite a lacklustre first half in terms of clear-cut chances, it seemed as if whoever scored the first goal might just edge it in the end.
Yeah, we said it was going to be tied at half-time, but we didn't expect there to be that many goals going against us, obviously. But yeah, I think the first goal was really important, but still thought once they got that first goal, we could still have responded a bit better by passing the ball more, playing through the thirds more, which we didn't do as much once the first and especially the second goal went in.
Do you think the weather, especially in the first half, sort of prevented you from playing your usual game?
Yeah, probably conditions were difficult, but like we said, it was for both teams, so they had to deal with it as well, and understand it's not as windy down here all the time, so they understood that also. So yeah, it might have had a little bit of a bearing, but there were no excuses for us with the goals we conceded. We just didn't defend well enough.
Can you find any positives to take from the match into next week against West Ham?
Well, I mean, after having sort of 9 or 10 days off, sometimes the players tend to be a bit rusty, and we did look like that. We didn't pass it with the normal flow and rhythm that we normally have. So, we'd be looking for another good week's worth of training. We'll have a good, honest, solid debrief on Monday and look to take that into the game against West Ham, and then obviously into the cup game after that.